You're watching the 420 Pace, found at 420pace.ca. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this toke.
So I've got papers in front of me. If I look down to read, I apologize, but this was written from the heart. I just spoke it out, and Google, I think, typed it for me. Yeah. So I am Cynthia Howell. I'm an earth medicine facilitator, as I call it, and my company is called Soul's Journey. And I'm so grateful to be here with you tonight. Maya invited me to speak a while back about medicine that I serve, about medicines that have transformed my life. And before sharing about them, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and share about the woman that is standing in front of you. And I really, half the time, don't even know where to start with that story. It's kind of a large one. For most of my life, I struggled in pain, PTSD since the age of 5. Pain led me to a life of addiction. My addiction grew out of the childhood trauma I tried to speak about as a little girl. And I wasn't believed and I wasn't heard. And when a child is not believed, something breaks. A silence forms and a separation happens inside. And this happened to me as I fought through childhood. Even so, I ended up building a functional life. I graduated high school. I went to university and studied psychology. I served in the Army for 4 years. And I earned an associate's degree in bookkeeping and office management. And then I ended up going to work for my dad for about 20 some odd years, living in addiction with cocaine and alcohol, eventually giving up the cocaine for pharmaceuticals. And when I found cannabis as a medicine, I had 11 different pills that I was on every day. So handfuls of pills 3 times a day. And from the outside, things looked fine. You know, I had a house, I had a car, I had a job. And on the inside, I was screaming for help. They were silent screams that I was just trying to quiet with substance. And then one day in late 2015, somebody said, "Why don't you try eating your cannabis?" And my world started to change. That's where my healing started. I woke up on the 3rd day of doing this and I took my oil and I went and got a coffee. And it was 2 hours later when the withdrawal started happening that I realized that, oh, I didn't take pills today. And from that point on, I worked to get clean off the pharmaceuticals. In July of 2016, I took my last one. Around that time, somebody introduced me to microdosing with psilocybin, and I was at first like, because mushrooms were part of my addiction, or I thought. So I get educated on the medicine that psilocybin is and what it can do and how it can help heal the brain, especially for those that have suffered addiction. So I started to microdose as I learned. And microdosing, it was kind of the catalyst. It was that gateway medicine that led me to the bigger psychedelics in the world. And I discovered iboga, and then I discovered 5-MeO, and then cacao, pure chocolate showed up in my face. And then combo came along, and it brought hepe, and it brought sananga, purifying, beautiful medicines. And this all eventually led me to breath work. And I still walk with cannabis and psilocybin today, and I still have an absolute love in my heart for the medicines that they are and for the love that they brought to my life. So tonight I'm going to be in service and speak to you about 4 different medicines that have shaped my path. And I have chosen cacao and combo, bufo, 5-MeO, and breathwork, specifically breathwave. But before I dive in, I want to clarify that Nothing that I share tonight is medical advice. I am not a doctor. These understandings come from tradition, they come from ceremony and personal experience and integration. But before we go deeper, I invite you to arrive together with me. If it feels comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes, soften your gaze. Put your feet on the floor. Take a long, slow breath in through your nose. Gently exhale through your mouth. Continue to do this as you feel the ground beneath you. Feel your breath go in and out of you. Feel your body relax. Feel yourself arriving. And in this moment, I'd like to say, give thanks to the earth Pachamama, the teachers, the tribes, the lineages that carry these medicines forward. I would also like to take a moment to thank the Mi'kma'ki for the use of their land for this time. I invite you all to take one more deep breath together. And sigh it out. And I invite you to bring yourself back and open your eyes. The first medicine I'd like to talk about is cacao, the heart opening medicine. I love this medicine. I received my training through a lady by the name of Judy Machado, and she is the founder of Goddess Temple Cacao. Judy teaches cacao as a living spirit. She got her teachings from the Shipibo tribe in Peru. And she believes that cacao is a heart teacher and a heart guide, and it is there as a heart ally. Ceremonial cacao comes from indigenous traditions in Mesoamerica. The Mayans, the Olmecs, and the Aztecs are all famous for this medicine. They all treated cacao as a sacred plant. For them, it was a gift from the gods and used in rites of healing, in prayer, and community connection. Everybody enjoyed cacao. Everybody does enjoy cacao. And the true ceremonial cacao is a whole bean. It's minimally processed, and it's grown in the ancestral lands of Mesoamerica and prepared in prayer and intention. They keep the plant's full energetic and biochemical profile as they are preparing it. Part of my training was about how cacao speaks to the heart, how it gently brings us back to our emotional body. Yeah. There is no force with cacao. There is no overwhelm with cacao. It's just a warm invitation as you drink it to come back into your heart. Cacao increases the serotonin in the brain. It's the chemical of connection, bonding, and love. And, that's just a little bit about the science, but really it is a heart teacher that brings us into honesty and into feeling. It brings us into a remembrance of our heart and our love for ourselves. And that's why cacao it's a wonderful medicine for people that are looking to explore. It's soft, it's gentle, it's inviting. And it just teaches the language of the heart. Physically, it can help increase circulation and cardiovascular stimulation. It is full of theobromine, magnesium, antioxidants. They can help to enhance focus and clarity and sustain energy without anxiety. It's very much a stimulant, and it doesn't cause that anxiety that caffeine can cause. It can help relax the nervous system, and it can help with hormonal balance and help to improve mood. It helps with emotional processing as you meditate with cacao. It can offer a sense of safety and grounded presence. The entity of cacao is very loving. It can help to increase your own empathy and your own connection and your own authentic expression. It's considered a teachable plant. It's considered to be gentle and feminine and deeply supportive. It can help connect you to your intuition, enhance your meditation and creative work. and deepen your connection with nature. And it can invite states of gratitude and openness and alignment. It can also, help alleviate stress and anxiety. I'm really glad I had a mug before I came in here. And one of my fun little facts about cacao, the Theobroma tree that grows these beautiful cacao pods, is it is a fruit. And it's my fun little fact. So when you have in your chocolate, you're actually having your fruit, which is just kind of neat. It's rich in magnesium and iron, which help to support that hormonal imbalance. And for women, it can help support menstrual discomfort. And it has vasodilating effects and antioxidant levels to help protect the cardio. Absolutely beautiful medicine. And who really doesn't love chocolate? For me, it is offered a gentle way to meditate every morning. And it's a great opener to talk with people with, just offer them chocolate. Hey, you want a piece of chocolate? The second medicine that I'd like to speak to you about is combo. It's kind of like the wild animal. And it's a cleansing frog medicine, and it comes from the Amazon. And I received my training through a place called Healing Hearts Combo. She's cute. Oh. Healing Hearts. Healing Hearts Combo, and she was healing hearts. And everything that Healing Hearts teaches is rooted deeply in traditional practices, specifically with the Shipibo tribe. Combo is a traditional Amazonian cleansing medicine, clearing medicine. It helps to detox physically, emotionally, spiritually, and ancestrally. And it's sourced from the secretion of the Phylomedusa bicolored tree frog, which is actually commonly known as the giant tree frog. And when they milk this toad or frog, my apologies, the chiefs sing and the chiefs call the frogs in, and the frogs come in for this ceremony willingly. And they have 4 glands on them that carry this poison, as it's called. And they will milk 2 of them, leaving 2 full, so the frog is not left defenseless. And they are very cautious about milking their frogs, and they protect their land. Nobody else is allowed to come in and do it. And it's only the hierarchy that is able to call the frogs in, and the frogs come. So it's really kind of interesting. And it's been used by indigenous tribes for generations in the upper Amazon, including the Shipibo tribe that I talked about, the Matsti, and many others. Combo is seen as both a physical cleanser and a spiritual warrior medicine, used for cleaning what they call the Panama, which is the stagnant energy, heaviness, and misalignment. I can tell you from personal experience, it purges it out all right. And they use this before they would go hunting to help clear themselves of toxins and to help clear their energies so they could go out pure and they could see what the forest had to offer, so they could get food to bring back to their tribes and feed them during the winter. And then the secretion that comes out, it's when it comes out, it is dried on a little stick, and that's how they keep it. And they keep it very, they keep it away until they need it. And then they moisten it with a little bit of saliva, and it is applied on superficial burns in the skin. And it's only like a couple of layers that goes in, just enough to get to the lymphatic system. And then they put that on, and it stays on for about 20 minutes. And that's when you go through the lovely purging, as it were. And traditionally there is prayer and Icaros, and we have a deep respect for the frog in the forest, and we pay homage. Combo is the medicine that says, let go. It's kind of the medicine that'll take you through and make you let go of what is no longer serving you. And whether that is something physically, like my first walk with Combo was definitely a physical detox. It was taking the addictions that were still in me, both the physical addictions that were lingering from alcohol, specifically for me, as well as the mental addictions to the trauma. Because when you go through trauma as a child, it tends to stick with you and you become almost addicted to anything around trauma. And, combo can help that be purged as well. It's quite an amazing medicine. Like I said, it can cleanse through detoxification, through purging. And purging comes in many ways, whether you vomit, whether you have a bottom purge, as we like to politely say it. It comes with sweating, screaming, crying, all kinds of snot coming out. You could shake. People can pass out. It's good for resetting and strengthening the body's natural vitality. And it helps with a heightened presence and energy and clarity following the process. So after the process, you feel very clean and very clear. And again, I can speak to that from experience that, the best way that I explain how to feel after a combo ceremony is I feel clean and pure. And it's very beautiful. And emotionally, combo is known for its powerful clearing effect. As I told you about, clearing emotional traumas and emotional addictions. It can help release emotional heaviness and blockages. It can bring a sense of courage and resilience and personal strength. Because let me tell you, after you sit with the wild frog, and you make it to the other end and you are now feeling clear, you feel, and you are a warrior because you have sat with the frog and you've made it to the other side. In Shipibo understanding, combo is considered a protective and aligning medicine. And they use it to clear dense energy, stagnant energies, and their energetic field, and deepen their connection with purpose and focus and the spiritual discipline. It helps them in their hunt. But unlike visionary medicines, like other medicines that I have talked about, and other medicines I will talk about, this is not really a psychedelic at all. There is no hallucinations. There's no psychedelic. You purge and you purge and you purge. Its teachings come through purification, discipline, and the discipline is sitting there with the medicine on you for the full 20 minutes. And it brings a beautiful clarity to follow. It's one of the hardest medicines I have ever sat with, next to Sananga. And I'm incredibly thankful for it. My initiation to becoming a combo practitioner was what they call a 3x3. So you do 3 doses in 3 hours. And I decided to let go of fear. And the first dose went pretty good. I purged water. The second dose got a bit harder. And the third dose, because it got harder because we were knocking the fear out of all the corners of my body and my spirit. And the third dose was when we were bringing it up, when I was bringing it up. And the fear decided it was going to hang. And in the last 5 minutes, I went from somebody who was just purging and sweating to literally a wild animal, where I was telling off my facilitators, my teachers. I was mad. I was begging. I was screaming. And in the last minute and a half of having the medicine on, I took control and I said, no, you're out. And I purged like I haven't ever purged before. And I thought that I had filled buckets and buckets. It felt, and there was like just a little tiny bit of purge. But I let go of the fear. I chased it out of my body and I won the fight. And I was a warrior. And I wouldn't be standing up here in front of you today if I didn't win that fight. I would have been too scared. So yeah, it's a really beautiful cleansing medicine. And for the hardness that it is, it's worth every drop of sweat. Yeah. The next medicine I'd like to talk to you about is one of my favorites. Probably going to say that about all of these medicines. It is Bufo 5-MeO DMT. It is nicknamed the God molecule, or the molecule of oneness. And I studied this medicine facilitation through the 5 education out of Tandava retreats in Mexico. And that is the 5-MeO information and vital education. They are a trauma-informed program grounded in safety and ethics. And they also focus highly, and this is, a good third of the course on integration, because integration is key when it comes to all of these medicines, but very specifically 5-MeO. And their approach is supported by groups like the World Bufo Alvarius Congress and the Conclave. And I'll tell you about both of them in a minute. And these are both communities devoted to safety and integrity and the ethical stewardship of the medicine. So just for the technicalities, the World Bufo Alvarius Congress, they've held two congresses down in Mexico now. It's an international gathering of facilitators, researchers, and traditional practitioners, academics, and psychonauts who are focused on the sacred medicine of Bufo or 5-MeO, specifically Bufo actually through this group. Its purpose is to share and develop the best practices for safety, ethical ceremony, integration, and conservation of the toad, because the toad is in trouble. The Congress promotes dialogue around science and spiritual use, sustainability, and cultural responsibility to the growing Bufo 5-MeO community. The Conclave is a group of anonymous collective of of experienced 5-MeO DMT practitioners who are dedicated to maintaining the safety and sacredness and ethical integrity of this powerful medicine. They create and share guidelines for facilitators, including best practices, ethics, safety protocols, and integration support. And integration is key throughout 5-MeO. And they have the aim of protecting participants and upholding reverence for the medicine and preventing misuse. The Conclave functions as a guardian network, offering structure, wisdom, and accountability within the global 5-MeO DMT community. So basically, they've just wanted to make sure that nobody's going to get hurt while they're doing it. And the World Bufo Alvarius Congress is more so in the protection of the toad itself, because the Sonoran Desert goes from Mexico right up in through Arizona into the States. And right now, the toad is lost 60% capacity. So it's only down in parts of Mexico now. It's been killed off by people toad hunting because they hear of 5-MeO. After I graduated with 5, I did a shadowing project with one of my teachers, Chad Charles. And he's a facilitator whose depth and presence and integrity have helped shape the way I run ceremony. 5 taught me a very important lesson with this medicine. The goal with this medicine is not the full release. It's not the mystical moment. The goal is to observe, and no matter how the medicine decides to show up for you, observe what happens and see what your downloads are, and then to go into integration. And it's integration is key to take those downloads and bring the remembrance into your everyday life. How to embody what you've learned on this journey, and how do you live with what you learned? Chad, as well as the many other teachers I had, they taught me how to hold someone in the before and in the after, and how to prepare them for the inevitable, and then how to hold them and help them in the integration process, how to support their nervous system and their breath, and how to support their surrender. Bufo comes from the secretion of the Sonoran Desert toad, and it's gathered very much like combo is. They don't necessarily sing to it, but they bring it in. It comes out during the rainy season. And the different tribes that are around the Sonoran Desert, the Comcac is the one that I know people in. They protect their land now from people just going and hunting. You just can't show up. They will shoot you on sight. And they are very ethical in their gathering of their toads and their milking of their toads. Again, only milking 2 of the 4 glands so that you can leave it with protection. And the Sonoran Desert toad is a little bit special. You cannot take it more than 50 kilometers away from its home in that radius. It only has that kind of memory. And if it doesn't get home with its tribe, it will die, which is how they lose quite a few as well, because people go hunting and they go milking. They milk all 4 and then they leave it way over there. So yeah, and the only way, sorry, I had to find my spot. So this is traditionally used with the Mexican lineages. And with Bufo, the actual pure Bufo, you have to combust it and inhale it. It's the only way that you can partake with this medicine. And it only takes seconds to start working, and then it starts peeling the layers of self or the layers of identity. And 5-MeO is the synthetic version thereof. They created 5-MeO actually in 1936. So it was created before the first person, Ken Nelson, smoked bufo. Just again, one of these fun facts that sticks in my brain, not actually written here. And both are, of course, known for dissolving identity, for opening the doorway of pure awareness and pure consciousness and pure love. It's not a recreational experience. We don't really call it a trip. It's a remembrance. 5 is known as the God molecule simply because it brings us into direct union with source consciousness, pure awareness and pure love. It's the medicine that likes to say, you're not separate from anything, and you never were. You're part of the whole, and the whole is part of you. 5-MeO can be done a few ways. The synthesized version, we can vaporize it versus combusting it. And there are a number of different ways that they have for vaporizing it, different pipes that work, the result is pretty much the same. Some are just easier on the lungs. You can also insufflate it, or you can use it as a suppository. Second to take about 15 minutes to onset, whereas vaporizing it, it's seconds. Those layers start peeling pretty much immediately. And it interacts primarily with the serotonin receptor subtypes, the 5H2, 1A and 2A. And it can influence the neural connectivity, inflammation modulation, and most importantly with 5-MeO, neuroplasticity. It can leave you in a neuroplastic state for anywhere from 3 days to 8 weeks. And this is why integration is so important, and to continue it during this time. This is when you can take those patterns that are in you that you go, I want to change that. And this is where you can do the work now to change that. You are now neuroplastic. You can change those patterns with the right help and the right talk therapy, the right integration, as we call it. So the experience often brings dramatic and emotional release and reframing. People commonly report feelings of deep peace and healing, and rebirth, and a profound letting go of emotional burdens. Spiritually, 5-MeO is often described as a non-dual dissolver of self. It's the drop of water becoming part of the ocean as the ocean becomes part of the drop of water. It's the all. In ceremonies, it's treated as a teacher medicine, and one moves beyond conceptual mind, beyond ordinary time and space, into what some call source consciousness. This shift can catalyze spiritual insights, clarity of purpose. A lot of people have changed jobs after feeling that their purpose has changed, and a reorientation of one's life path. As I said earlier, I used to be a bookkeeper in my dad's business, on par to help him run it pretty much for the rest of my life. And when I started taking the 5-MeO course, I quit, just up and quit. And I haven't looked back since, and I've continued on taking other courses. I have met other ladies and other gentlemen in my life that have done crazier things. Where one of my favorite people, and Ben, he quit his job and the first time he did 5, he proposed to his wife. Mm-hmm. And the second time he did 5, he realized he had done everything wrong, and he divorced her, and he stopped working as a pharmacist, and he moved to Costa Rica. And now he advises people like me on medicines and contraindications on medicines. So yeah, it can really help you find a different purpose in life. And I recommend that if you do sit with this medicine, no big life changes for a few months. Like, just sit with it for a while and make sure you really, really want that. So because of its potency, the role of the facilitator, and the ceremonial container is preparation, ethical framework, making sure that the person is safe, and offering the integration, especially afterwards, because integration, that goes for 5 or any other medicine that you do. So that's a little bit about 5. The last medicine I'd like to talk with you about is the newest one in my life. When Chad Charles was down doing the shadowing project with me, We had a couple of people come in. Well, we had, quite a few people come in. And the last two that came in, he does a little bit of breath work with everybody before he takes them into 5. And he invited me, I'm there shadowing, I'm watching, I'm learning. So he invited me to come in and we do about 10 minutes worth of breath work. The last two that came in, with both of them, I had a psychedelic release within 5 minutes and I was blown away. I mean, I've had psychedelic release with breath work, but not within 5 minutes on a gentle breath work. So after everybody left, I said to Chad, where do I go? What do I do? I want to learn. So he sent me off to check out a company called Breathwave. And I noticed that they had classes coming right up in Vancouver. So I said, okay, I applied and I got into level 1. So I went off and I studied under a gentleman called Robin Clements, who is the founder and owner of Breathwave. And his teachings emphasize nervous system safety and connection. And he teaches about the intelligence of breath itself. And with all the education I got from Chad, I think him sending me to Breathwave was probably the best. A little bit about this art. Breathwave is a conscious, connected breathing practice. It's a circular breath with no pause. There's no pause between the inhale and the exhale. And it creates a wave-like rhythm that kind of moves energy, emotions. It can uproot some memories and can help move tension through the body. It's built on ancient breath traditions like yoga and tantra. It incorporates indigenous ceremony, mostly from the Lakota. And he has incorporated some somatic, modern somatic body work as well. The core technique is we have you lie down, we have you breathe with your mouth open. It's an uninterrupted wave, as I said, of inhalation and exhalation, allowing you to breathe in a relaxed form. There's no force in this breath at all, and there should be no sound in this way of breathing. And it's a natural way. We get you to breathe from the root to the heart chakras, and then we get you to release all at once without pauses or any forced holds. One of the things that I truly love about this medicine is it reminds me that we are the medicine. This is a medicine that we all have inside of us, and this is a ceremony that we are all sharing at this moment together. Whether you are here with me in this room or online watching us, we are sharing in this beautiful ceremony. And we all started our life with this beautiful ceremony. And when we leave this world, it'll be the last ceremony we have. And it is with us from beginning to end. Yeah, so it reminds us that every single thing we are searching for in ceremony is inside of us. And Breathwave helps us to access this altered state safely, gently, and naturally. And it helps to regulate the nervous system and open the heart. This is one of the bright ways of breathing that is actually good for teenagers. And it can be worked with pregnant women as well, because it is such a gentle way of breathing. One of the other things I love is when I guide Breathwave, and I believe somebody said this morning in an integration circle I was in. When I guide, I love to watch people soften. I love to watch the release. I love to watch the somatics of the legs shaking, and I encourage, like, yeah, get rid of that energy, shake it out. I love to see them come back to the breath and the remembrance of who they are and the remembrance of their worth. Remembrance of their own innocence and their own connection to something greater. It is the medicine that says, you all already have what you are looking for. It's just in here. You just got to breathe. Physically, it activates the diaphragm. And it activates the full respiratory system. Normally, we only breathe 20 to 30% capacity of our lungs. And a good breathing practice, any of them, not just the one that I practice, can open that up to 70 to 80% and really allow that oxygen to come in the body. It can help enhance oxygenation. You can get a lot of oxygen in you. It can support lymphatic drainage, improve circulation and blood flow. And it can help stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system via the vagus nerve, supporting nervous system regulation. And it's another medicine that can help with hormonal balance. It can stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. I already said that. And it can lead to better organ function via massaging, because believe it or not, when you get those nice deep breaths in, and again, with any breathing technique, you are massaging those organs. And so you're giving them extra oxygen and extra blood, and you're just giving them a little bit of, hey, I love you massage, and making them feel loved. Breathwave itself offers a gentle pathway to uncover and release emotional and subconscious blocks held in the mind of your body, because our bodies hold on to trauma. It's what some people refer to as the subconscious. Our bodies remember the trauma, and our bodies, given that chance, will release that trauma. And that can just enhance our healing of our mind. It helps to cultivate self-love, greater forgiveness, self and others. And this is one that it did for me. It helped me to forgive. I said at the beginning that, like I ran to addiction out of childhood trauma. And this medicine in particular helped me find peace and forgiveness for the two men that hurt me when I was so young. And that turned out to be way more important than I knew at the time, because the one that hurt me the most passed away 3 days after I found that forgiveness. And I'm really glad that I found that, so his soul can go in peace. Yeah. Okay. It's a sacred medicine. Breath is life's direct connection to source. And I remind you that it is in us all. Its method invites reconnection and at the deepest levels. This practice invites awakening of one inner's intelligence. Breath, it aligns the brain, the heart, the body, and the spirit in coherence. And in this way, we can move towards an embodiment of the highest potential, of our highest potential. It's powerful and gentle breath wave, the way I teach. It as a ceremonial path of conscious connected breathing, and it engages the body, it engages the emotions, the stored wisdom, and the spirit's longing for unity. By entering the wave of breath, one clears, one heals, and one expands. We do this physically, emotionally, and spiritually. All of these 4 medicines, cacao, combo, bufo, and breath, have walked me back to myself. They have helped to heal my trauma. They have helped to release my addictions. They have helped me remember that 5-year-old inside of me who has waited decades to be seen and heard. And I've helped walk her out. And each medicine in its own way, not just these 4, but all the ones that I have been blessed with, they carry the same message. Come home. Come home to your heart. Come home to your breath. Come home to your truth. Come home to yourself. These medicines don't fix us. They illuminate us so we can observe. We can observe what is already inside of us. And the real work, that life-changing work, that happens after the medicine and integration. Integration in the breathing and in the living. So thank you for listening.
And is there room for questions?
I think we have enough time. Sure. Yes.
Could I ask, thank you for your presentation, and I'd like to know about cacao. If I get organic cacao powder, is that what we're looking for here? Roughly?
Well, what I use comes directly from a Peruvian tribe.
Right, but
and-
without going to Peru,
You can get raw organic cacao powder and still get the physiological benefits of it. Yes.
great, thank you. And does that differ a lot from unsweetened baking chocolate?
It's a little bit more bitter. Yeah. Yeah. I like to, if I'm making it for that reason, use a little bit of organic maple syrup or organic honey for a little bit of sweeten. And I get an organic alcohol-free vanilla and put a little bit of that in it. And it becomes an amazing dark hot chocolate.
Sorry, I'm confused about the question. Is cacao is raw,
Yes.
unprocessed, like very little.
Ceremonial
processing.
cacao is, yes.
Ceremonial cacao is extremely different now from baking.
It
chocolate,
is, yes.
'cause
But
that's-
baking cocoa, like there's cocoa, and if you go to a organic store, you can get raw organic cacao, which is the theobroma, and it's not got the milk in it. It's not got the extra processing in it. It's not grown in ceremony and reverence, but it is still grown from the land and not processed into with the milk product and with the salts.
Right, and
Yeah.
is powdered cacao different than the bricks with the, the fat?
They are prepared at different frequencies and prayed for with different prayers. So one operates on a heart frequency while the other one operates on an earth frequency. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been taught. I've not gone to help prepare any yet, but yeah, I'm sure I'll learn more when I do.
Is it better? Like better?
Yes. Yeah. It like I mean like it that the bricked cacao, like the cacao paste, has more antioxidants in it. But the raw organic cacao is a beautiful way to sit with the medicine every day because there are physiological benefits beyond what I said. And one of the biggest ones that I didn't share, but it's one of those little tidbits of information that sticks in my head, is as humans, once we get to the age of 45, our ability to create stem cells in our body just shoots down. It goes down by about 50% in their late 40s. And theobroma cacao, especially even in the raw organic form, if you drink at least 5 cups a week of raw organic cacao, you can help boost your stem cell production, therefore being able to heal faster and better.
Does that powder have some caffeine in it?
No, but cacao is a natural stimulant, yeah,
Without caffeine?
but without caffeine. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Ooh, they differ every time. But basically, I mean, I will invite in a group of people. I will have the cacao prepared already. We come in, I chat a bit about cacao and talk about it, and how the Mayans did everything and how they have no heart disease, and and everybody should drink cacao, and a lot of what I just said. We have we talk about intentions, we drink the cacao, we do some meditation. I now offer breath work, but each of them differ from ceremony to ceremony, depending on what the clientele wants to work on. Yeah. Yes.
If you design a ceremony for someone who wants to heal trauma and so on, how would you go about deciding what medicines to use with someone?
Oh, that's a big question. Like a big question. If somebody comes to me, we have a discovery call. That's how we sit down and decide. And we try to have a very open and authentic discovery call. And I look for intentions, and then I ask questions like, what medications are you on? Anything that you've been diagnosed? Do you suffer from suicidal ideation? And a number of questions like that, because different things have different contraindications with different medicines. And I want to make sure that anybody that's coming to me is getting the best of what they can get. If somebody comes to me and they're taking an SSRI, the last thing I will feed them is 5-MeO-DMT. I can, cause them to have psychosis. I can cause them to get very sick. I can cause them to die by mixing the two. So you have to be very careful with different medicines. It's the same with combo. If somebody comes to me and says, I've been detoxed from my addictions now for 4 weeks and I would like to help detox them out of my body, I'd be very happy to do that. But if they told me that they used iboga to help detox them, well, I got to send them away for 6 weeks because you can't use iboga directly before you would use combo. So each person is different when they come to me. So it depends on where they are in their life and where they are in their healing. And I do my best to step up and meet them where they are to help find the best pathway for them to get to where they want in their healing journey. You're welcome.
You do the integration aspect of the ceremony as well?
Just repeating the question.
I've been asked if I do the integration as well. And yes, especially with the bigger entheogens, I insist on it. I work it into the cost of the ceremony. And that way you have a number of sessions already paid for with me. Now, if I am dealing with somebody that I don't have an empathy for them, like it's a gentleman that's come to me that something's happened to him and I'm not a man, I can't necessarily understand that. And he tells me that he would be more you would be more comfortable speaking with somebody else. Well, the money that I have now worked into the cost, I will pay somebody else to do the integration work specialized for each participant.
Does it look like it's like a talk therapy?
Very much like a talk therapy, focusing on, the ceremony that we just had, and what you gained, insights that are coming to you, what's come up since the ceremony or since the last integration talk, because those are some of the downloads that you get, is just like little pops that come into your brain as you're going along afterwards. And it can last up, like I said, to eight weeks, especially with 5-MeO. Yeah, so I highly recommend it.
How many integration sessions do you do? Does that change?
For me, I do 2 with every client, and there's the option to hire me for more, or the option to find somebody that you might be more comfortable with. Some people have a talk therapist, and therefore they can go back to their talk therapist as long as as long as they're being open with them about what they're doing. That integration can work very well as well. Yeah. Yes.
Got kind of a two-part question.
Sure.
First part, you kind of picking back off the sourcing. Curious of your opinion on how to, if you have any recommendations of where to source from, or if you how to vet people or sources that you're getting it from.
Myself.
Say I want to buy a bunch of or,
Yes.
Or get to go to a combo ceremony and get some new combo on me. How do I know that they're doing it in the ethical way that you're talking about?
I'm going to say this, but I have no online presence. I mean, you've got to research them. And with me, that's why I'm so open about where I got my training, because my online presence is currently being worked on right now, but people can go check out the online presence of the people I work with. It's very easy to research people, and find out, if they're following protocols, if they're following ethics. It really comes down to being open to chatting with them. I've been very lucky in my career. The people that I sat with the first time, I saw them in the first Dosed movie. So I watched a movie and then I'm going, ooh, I'm going to go take this crazy medicine from Africa with some guy that I saw in the movie in Vancouver. Off I go. I was very lucky that way because they were vetted, pretty much for the world to see. And they are, they're a lot of my mentors, those beautiful humans. But it is, it is something that you have to watch. And really it's the same as vetting anything. Watch reviews. If people have an online presence, there's going to be reviews. Research the people that they learned from, research the schools that they went to. That's why I offer you can look at my degrees, you can see the certifications on my wall, and these schools and these places are very easy to research and of themselves. The school that I went and took 5-MeO from, they're involved with Ivy League Ivy League universities studying this medicine, what it does to the body and the mind and the emotions. It's really, really cool stuff, a lot of these places. Yeah. I don't know if I answered that very well, but
Yeah, the second part, the, like you just mentioned, like everybody should drink cacao, right? And like, if everyone, because these specific things only grow and are from a specific region of the earth, I'm just wondering if your opinion on like how to get accessibility to like a really large amount of people if these things really took off. And then also, if you were aware of any like northern hemisphere analogs to some of these things, even like combo of like, oh, like this is what warriors did in the First Nations in Canada, for example.
the Canadian First Nations, as far as I know, they didn't use combo simply because the frog that it comes from is in the Amazon. So that's why it comes from there. Cacao is one again that comes from Mesoamerica. Now it has been appropriated. They grow the majority of the cacao or the chocolate, the chocolate as we know it in the stores today, is grown in Africa. In very large places there, although a lot of them have been burned sadly in the last year. So these medicines come from different parts of the world, and it's the same as iboga. The only place that they've been able to successfully grow iboga medicine that is potent is in Gabon, Africa. If they take those trees and grow them elsewhere and then go to harvest the medicine, they don't get the medicine that they get when they grow it in Gabon. So these medicines have traveled with travelers, like people, like we found out all about magic mushrooms from Maria Sabina, but there was a Westerner that went down and sat with her and brought the information back. And that's how a lot of this information comes back to the Western world.
Yeah, I guess I'm just like I tend to like and trend towards mushrooms
Mhm.
because of their ability to grow and like want to grow almost everywhere. And there's, you know, psychedelic mushrooms that are native to Canada and many parts of the world. Right? So I guess that was more of what I'm getting at. It's like if we do want to like get this medicine in the hands of more people, like do you have any opinion on how that might look, I guess, or like
More people need to sit with the medicine, have a relationship with the medicine, and hear the call to become practitioners. Yeah. Yeah. And and this was another conversation that I had with somebody else. I mean, we need more people doing this work. You know, we really do. This work can, with natural earth medicines, can help change the world. We can do a lot of healing. I mean, like when I go to visit Vancouver, I go to the downtown east side, and my heart just gets broken every time I'm down there, knowing that there are medicines in this world that can help them, but because of government bureaucracy, and I'm not usually a political person, they're hidden still. Like the doctors don't know about them. They're not taught because of doctors. And, you know, not all doctors, but I mean, when I came off cocaine and I went to my doctor, I mean, he just gave me prescription after prescription. I'm having this side effect. Oh, there's a pill for that. Yeah, so getting this out is just a matter of more people getting up on that soapbox and telling their story about how this medicine, this fixed us. But I saw a hand back here first.
The movie that you're referring to, that's the one government there.
Yeah, Gabor was in it.
Just respond to something that was shared.
Sure.
I just, because I think, oh my goodness, I guess.
I just have a question because kind of what I heard was like, how do we do this sustainably? How do we do this so we're not actually like ruining the cacao like cultivation? I use cacao personally just for my own experience. There is like a few that are very popular online that are white owned in these places that are not white. So my suggestion is to look for collectives of Indigenous women that are cultivating this. There are a few of them. I know one if you're looking for them. And also, I think it's like very important you bring that up because we are very quick to be like, let's do this thing, but we're not thinking about like, how is that extractive? How are we like perpetuating, you know, colonialism and all that fun herky conversation, you know, like we really have to like think like, how can we bring this back in a way that is ethical and represents what the plant actually wants to bring to us. That's it, thank you. Was that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
okay.
also know a women's collective, so. great know.
Yeah.
It's the same, even the same.
Is it Guatemala?
I think
It
after
might
that,
actually
we
be
lived in Guatemala and Mexico for like quite a few years, and I'm from Venezuela. We're also.
Oh, no,
Venezuelan.
you guys are social.
This-
Yes,
this-
of
this-
course. Yes,
this is
hello.
why we are.
Thank you, that's very well.
I would like to ask a question about 5-MeO/Bufu. So that's become more and more available. So you can buy 5-MeO pens online nowadays, and there's more and more people like deciding that they would like to facilitate and even solo experiment. So I would like you to speak about the risks associated with untrained facilitation and or solo experimenting from your knowledge and experience.
Well, I'd like to address the solo facilitation first. The best way to explain solo facilitation about 5-MeO is don't. Just plain and simple don't. It is one of the most unpredictable entheogens known to man. My own experience, I have been able to go up to 17 milligrams without a full release. I have taken 3 milligrams and have gone to the moon on a full release, and I don't know what my body's doing. This medicine is different every time you sit with it. As beautiful as it is and as healing as it is unpredictable. So doing it alone, so many things can happen. You can purge, and if you're laying on your back, you can now choke on that purge and die. If you are somebody who gets dynamic in a full release, and I've seen some pretty dynamic people, again, you can hit your head and you can do damage to yourself. People have broken limbs, broken wrists. They've bitten their facilitators without knowing it. I have had somebody decide that he was going to do break dancing and he ripped off my toenail. And people decide as people, and I don't expect anybody in this room necessarily to understand this thought because it's a psychedelic room. But some people that are coming to the medicine new and are heading close to a full release, they decide that, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. And they figure if they get up and they run, that they will run away from the experience. And again, that can come with a lot of things that just are not good. So the best experience about solo 5-MeO work is just don't have somebody there with you. And as for the person that should be there, at minimum, they should have their first aid training at the very minimum. They should have knowledge of 5. They should have sat with 5. Preferably have somebody there that knows this medicine a little bit. This medicine, like I said, I could repeat it over and over again. It is unpredictable and you never know what's going to happen on 1 milligram, on 5 milligrams, on 15 milligrams. And you could take all of these at different times and you could full release on all of them, or you could not full release on all of them. And that's why with 5, the best way to approach it is to go into it without the expectation of that full release and just enjoy the downloads and what you can observe. But yeah, having somebody with you that can help you, and somebody preferably trauma informed as well, because 5-MeO can open up memories very fast and it can open up traumas very, very fast. And this can also then come along very slowly over the 8 weeks of neuroplasticity. So yeah, have somebody there who has some knowledge, preferably a trained facilitator. I understand that, a lot of us have tried an NDMT at home and it's safer to do at home alone. Although I recently know a friend who had a very bad trip on it and he hurt a lot of people. So again, although it is a safer medicine to do at home alone, really you shouldn't have somebody else there with you in case something comes up, because you could end up fighting a demon and hurt yourself or hurt others. Does that answer?
I have another question about. So you mentioned that it works on the serotonin
Yes.
2 receptor. Which is the same, I think, as psilocybin, is that right? The same.
Very similar, yeah.
So I'm just curious to know a bit more about the difference between the two and how they work for the medicines.
I can't honestly speak to the science of psilocybin. My education with that is from elders and not from scientists. 5-MeO primarily only works on these receptors and they flood them. So if you're taking any other serotonin medicine, you can go into toxicity and you can go in, you can die and you can have psychosis for the rest of your life. But yeah, so 5-MeO goes in and they flood, like just completely flood those receptors. Whereas I think psilocybin, it works different. You can take psilocybin with SSRIs. The SSRIs just block the psilocybin from doing the work, so you actually have to take more. So that much I do know. Yeah, straight up, I'll be honest with what I don't know. So yeah, yeah, you're welcome.
Since it's not a psychedelic, during the experience, like what are you experiencing? Is it just like physical pain? Are you remembering memories? Like, are you purging like physically, but also like I guess I'm just curious what the experience is like. Sounds like it's
Not to scare you away, but combo is like taking, do you remember when you were a kid and you had that 2-week long flu and it was horrible and you vomited every day and you lost 20 pounds? You don't lose 20 pounds, but take that worst flu you've ever had and knock it into 20 minutes, and that's combo. Yeah, it's a detox, right? So it feels like that, like you get the stomach cramps, like you have the flu, you can have diarrhea, you can vomit.
physical.
Yeah. Emotionally, like I explained, it helped me to release fear. I don't know if you know anything about IFS work, internal family systems. There was me, like the me that's standing here talking to you, and it was almost like if I closed my eyes while I'm in the retching pain and vomit, I could almost see me grabbing a hold of this black mass and saying, "Oh, damn spot out, like get the, excuse my language, fuck out of me." And like, I mean, and this is what I'm yelling, and I'm telling my facilitators to F off, go away, stop with the tobacco smoke. I don't need any more mapacho in my face. And all of this stuff. But meanwhile, when I closed my eyes, I was inside fighting with that fear, saying, "You got to go." Yeah, like I felt the internal fight, and I could feel that second that I won, and like the next second I purged and I purged and I purged. And there was the water that I drank, and it came up. It actually that one came up pure black, right? It came up as the mass I saw when my eyes were closed. It was a pure black vomit. Yeah.
I'm curious.
I love that people are smiling at that going, yeah, right on. You're my people. I like you.
And does combo actually heal any diseases or any neurological issues or?
It's a detox.
Mhm.
So like, I mean, I wouldn't say no that it works on any of that, but it's a detox, and it can help in the healing of the gut. It can help in the healing of the mind and the detoxing of the body, especially anybody that's coming off of addiction.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
I just want to say that I love that, and I appreciate that one of the like 4 major medicines that you talked about was breath work. And I think that I do like when people ask me personally about my experiences, whatever, I'm like, there's also, there's breath work, there's also like the gongs, there's like ecstatic dance, there's chanting, there's like so many ways that people have come into trance and into like psychedelic experiences that just alter within your body.
Yeah.
And they're accessible, they're not extractive of anything or anyone or any place, and they're dealing with like your own inner like
Yeah.
experience and like
Yep.
your own power. So yeah, I just really appreciate that. It's been like all these like incredible, like really hyped, like also substances that one of like the biggest ones that you talked about.
It's the only one that ever posed me a challenge. I have sat with a lot of medicines. I've sat with combo, and I've gone through this purge many, many, many times. Sanonga in my eyes, like, it's like taking hot sass times 100 and putting it in your eyes, but the vision that you get is incredible. Breath work is the only one that 2 days into the retreat, I wanted to fucking home. Done. I didn't want to face what I was showing myself. And I went through that twice that week. And I stayed. And I'm so blessed that I stayed because, like I said earlier, I found a peace and forgiveness for somebody that I never thought that I would have that gift. And then knowing that everything I've gone through has led me to this place of service and this ability to hold a flashlight for others and tell them my story and offer them a way out of their darkness. Yeah. So thank you for acknowledging that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
being so vulnerable in front of us and sharing your story. I just wanted to not remind you, or I had forgotten to mention this lovely donation basket because we're offering this for free, but of course we have to pay rent and all the other good stuff. And so, yeah, was there anything else? Did I forget anything? Next talk is December 10th, and it's about integration. So Angela from our board is going to talk about integration on the 10th, and then the next one I think is in December, is in January. I forget, the 17th, I think. So yeah, so tell all your friends and come back, and thank you so much for coming.
I just had a question, Maya. I just wanted to know about the breath wave.
Oh, sorry, there was another question from Moose.
Sorry, but thank you
Sorry,
so much for the
Moose.
presentation.
I
It was
look here.
awesome.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask about. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask about breath wave. Thanks for your presentation, by the way. Just wanted to ask about breath wave. How long is it that you breathe, and what are the differences and similarities to holotropic breath work? Is it a lot different, or?
Question I'm not hearing.
Just wants to know about what's the breath wave in particular. Breath wave.
Breath wave.
As opposed to.
Is that what the question is? What is breath wave?
As opposed to other ones, holotropic breath.
Breath wave is gentler than a lot of these other breaths. So there's no forcing a breath in and out. You invite the breath in, and then we let it fall out. So it's a breathing in of worthiness and a full surrender upon the release. So it's very gentle. There's no heaviness to it.
Tune in Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on 420radio.ca.
It says here that Outlaw Patience is a raw, darky, funny, and brutally honest memoir of a man who spent 2 decades navigating the impossible crossroads of pain, politics, and prohibition. When doctors, politicians, and cops failed him, the law itself turned on him, and he fought back. Russell Barth and his wife Christine Lowe were among Canada's most outspoken medical cannabis patients and activists. What began as a personal struggle for pain and relief became a national battle against bureaucracy and healthcare system. It often preferred punishment over compassion. From police rage to courtroom absurdities, from the trenches of Parliament Hill to the quiet desperation of chronic illness, Barth exposes a world where sick people can be treated like criminals simply for trying to survive.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Look
got all that money, yeah, the money that they've spent. Take another look and take some time for hemp. Don't cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp. Well, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all our soil. People got no food, they got no clothes, they got no rent. Well, it's time for hemp.
Yes, it is. It is time for hemp. And I tell you, I love that groovy music that we listen to from the illusions of music. And I can certainly tell you that the visuals that you see, I'm from Indiana, so we say visuals wrong, are beautifully done by my joint host, Al Graham, up in Canada. Hey, Al.
Hey, Casper. Thanks
Thank
for the
you for
kind
taking
words.
time for him.
Yes, I'm taking time
You
for
are
him.
welcome.
That's right.
And I do want to remind the audience that anytime you hear the word joint, make it a point to hit your bongs, your pipes, your vaporizers, and take time for hemp. And Al Graham, you are doing a lot of noise up there in Canada, aren't you?
I sure am. Find me at paceradio.net. It's where you'll find people advocating cannabis education, and we touch on psychedelics as well.
And we've also got a groovy joint host who's a great author. If you get a moment, I would encourage you to get his book. His name is Al Byrne. Hey, Al.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Yes, thank you for holding up the book, as always, Casper. He does that so well. And I wrote it, and it's 360 pages long, and it's a 40-year history, essentially, of how medical cannabis came to be in the United States, in fact, the world. Who did it, how they did it, sacrifices made, the opposition, which was government. And there's a lot of good guys mentioned. I wanted to mention the good guys because what is it? The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. And so I wanted to make sure that the good in the medical cannabis community was not interred with their bones. So anyway, that's why I wrote the book. And along the way, I became a big-time advocate for veterans. Just so everybody understands, there's two veterans on this show right now. I'm a Navy vet, and Casper's an Army vet, and even so, we still talk to each other. But we're very interested in veterans. We do quite a bit of veteran shows about them or with them or something, and that's what today is. Today is a fella from the central part of Florida. I'm in the Panhandle, what they call Panhandle. I'm 4 or 5 hours west of this guy, but he's in the Orlando area, and what he does is veteran orientated to the max. It's a great organization that he's put together. It's all about his effort, really. I know he's going to mention some other people, and he should, but this is Rob Harmon. Let's bring him in here. Rob, there he is.
Hello.
And you can see behind him is a significant amount of green, and this is what Rob Harmon does. He brings cannabis to veterans in Florida, and he's going to tell us, I hope, maybe that's going to expand some. But welcome, Rob.
Thank you, Casper. Al, appreciate you being here today.
Well,
give me a little bit of time.
We've had an interview with Rob before, maybe now a year ago or something. I can't remember, and it was very well done. What we're doing here is we wanted to bring Rob back because now we're on Citizen Green TV, which is veteran orientated and cannabis orientated, herbal orientated. And again, that's what Rob Harmon is into. And so we wanted to give that lesson that he has, this operation that he has, a much more broader audience with the TV show. So that's why we're here, Rob, to understand how you got going. I know from past talk that your family was heavily into the military, and so why don't you start with that? How the military background of your family?
So my dad's military. Both my grandfathers are military. My brother's military. I am
What
not
does that
military.
mean? Army, Navy, Marines?
One of each, actually.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. I went to college and smoked weed, and I did not sign up and go into the services. So thankful to them. So I didn't have to do that stuff. So I have a medical marijuana doctor's office. We've been in business for over 7 years. We have 8,000 patients. And the first couple of years of just talking to so many veterans that wanted an opportunity to better quality of life through cannabis or without the VA drugs or any type of natural thing they wanted, they just simply couldn't afford it. Every person, time after time after time, I want to try it. I just simply can't afford it. Average cost in Florida is about $200 to see the doctor, another $77 to pay to the state. Well, they simply can't afford that. So I decided to start a nonprofit and let's pay for it. We'll get some sponsors. We'll be huge. We'll get this thing going. Great, grandiose ideas. The sponsors didn't quite come like I wanted them to, but we still did it. We're on our 47th month of doing it. We do 21 veterans every month. And the reason 21 is picked, it just gives them ample time to speak with the doctor, to speak with us about dosages, about ratio products, about starting slow, about tracking, about trying to dial in your actual dosage instead of just trying anything and see what works best for you. So we try to
you just covered a handful of topics there to give me a handful of questions, like who makes the medications, who comes up with the dosage, how is that determined by each patient? I mean, you would buy quite a plethora of knowledge without sharing how it's all done.
Well, okay. Well, in general, I mean, it's really such an individual patient thing. We give them a standard amount of every route: edibles, topicals, sublinguals, flower. They get a little bit of everything. And we do teach them about terpenes. We teach them to pull COAs from the dispensaries and see which terpenes are the most dominant. If you've smoked something or had it in another way that you really liked it, go and look at those COAs, see those dominant terpenes, and target other products that have those same terpenes. And that will help you dial in your dosage and your medication. So we teach them that part of it. And a lot of them never even heard of terpenes before. And it's super interesting. And a lot of people really get into it to try to get the perfect dosage or the perfect mix of whatever format you wanted, whether it's edibles or flower or the most.
Well, and then the other question too is, if you're dealing with a variety of terpenes and flavors and buds, who is growing that variety? I mean, you must have more than just like one strand that you're working with. Do you have one grower? Is it just you? You got a variety of growers?
Well,
How do you think it out?
currently we just use the dispensary stuff. I mean, I don't have a license here in Florida. This mainly is just for looks you see in the background. But that is our plans for the future of Veterans Cannabis Care, to grow our own, to formulate our own topicals and tinctures, and maybe get some high CBG type flower and really do some R&D with that. I'm working with a company called Eden now that you will see the Veterans Cannabis Care products in the Florida dispensary stores. We'll have our own line of flowers and topicals and vapes. That's coming soon. I think that's really going to help spread the word, as well as hopefully we can do some more veterans too by the little bit of profits that come in.
I guess we should mention here, folks, Florida is obviously cannabis legal medically. So everything we're talking about here is everything's up and up. What Rob is referring to is the dispensary system in Florida. I think it's rather large. I know I'm about an hour from Tallahassee, Rob, and I go up there and damn, it seems like there's 18 or 20 different dispensaries. Is that kind of numbers what you see where you are?
Well, there was originally 22 licenses given out. There's been a couple random ones given out recently, some Pigford license given out. So, and it's from seed to sale here. So there's only basically 25 companies covering the entire state. We're the third most populous state, the second most populous veteran state. So it's kind of some little monopolies they've created, for lack of a better way to explain it. So there's 20 companies. There's probably 800 stores currently in the state of Florida.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, 800 in the state. Okay, so that's a reasonable number, but it should be bigger than that. Obviously, this is a big place geographically.
Right. Some of the vendors, one of the vendors had 50% of the market. So some of them are a lot smaller, but they're expanding. A couple new licenses are coming on track. They gave out 22 licenses back almost 2 Aprils ago, and they awarded the licenses, but they haven't allowed the people to move forward with them. So that's kind of at a standstill here now too. And hopefully when the more competition comes, it'll open up and we'll get a little better products and a little cheaper prices too.
Well, yeah, there was a bad history here in Florida, folks. When this situation began, we're going to have dispensaries. The legislature here passed a law that was unbelievably unconstitutional, biased, prejudiced. It basically said something like, unless you had were actually operating a nursery, grow bushes, you could not get a dispensary license in Florida. And so it's been bigger, but it's not big enough. But Rob, give the folks an idea of a veteran needs cannabis, the process. What are they required to do? How much is it going to cost for the cannabis, et cetera, et cetera?
Okay, so if typically the state doesn't give any discounts for veterans, whether it's through their card renewal or through the doctor's offices for renewals. Typical cost for them is $200 in Florida and $77 to see the state. If they come through Veterans Cannabis Care, we pay for everything. We cover the doctor's cost, which stays them $200, and then the $77.75 to the state. We cover that also.
That's every year, though, right?
We only do the initial. Our plan is to continue to cover the renewals, but based on money, we haven't been able to do that so far.
Okay, but the state is 1 year for that.
Yeah, the state is every year, and then the 7-month recommendation is every 7 months. So you do have to come back and see the doctor just by telemed every 7 months to get re-upped.
And what's a cost for bud? If I go in there and get an ounce, what am I going to do here?
It's a range. I mean, you can get, say, eighths for as little as $12, but as much as $65.
Wow.
So there's a pretty wide range out there based on quality, based on taste, flavors, all that. But there's a little bit out there for everybody. But the prices are way high and way low. So
being that you work through the stores, do you work through a certain stores, or are you just basically connecting the patients to the product via the retail businesses, being that you're not growing?
Well, I do. When we do the event, I typically have a sponsorship by one of the dispensaries, and they'll come in and kind of pitch their products to them there, give them some specials to go to their place first and some other stuff. So we do that through the dispensaries. I don't always get a dispensary to sponsor. Ever since Amendment 3 didn't go through, some of them are a little bit cheap. So if I don't get a sponsor, I just cover it as part of my monthly budget because we can't stop doing it. You just got to keep doing it. And I am working with one specific company called Eden. They're new. They've got one store open. They've got 3 more coming, and that's one that we've done a partnership with, where I'm going to be doing a line of products to them too.
Good.
Okay, 21 guys, girls a month is your goal.
That's what we do the last Tuesday of every month.
Okay, so you've been meeting that goal, and do you have a growth goal?
I can grow immediately. I have a list of at least 200 vets in the state of Florida that are on my waiting list. Again, I can only do it once a month. A lot of them are incapacitated, can't drive, don't have a car. There's many reasons. A lot of them can't come to the initial appointment because it has to be done in person. So I've got this list of all these people, and now moving forward, when I talk about the network, hopefully we're going to be able to service those people, but they do have to come in, which really limits the amount of people that I can do. But my waiting list is long. I usually book about 3 weeks before the event, and within 4 days, it's completely full.
Wow.
Now, when you say we, who is we? Who's overseeing the organization that you've put together, and who helps fund it and bring it all? I mean, it's got to be a big project, so I'm sure you got to tip your hat to a few people helping you.
Well, you'd be surprised. It's not as big as it sounds. I have the doctor that works for me. Her name is Dr. Wilson King. She's been with us a couple of years. She is absolutely amazing. She is what I would say a doctor is if I could design one. She cares about patients. She listens to them. She lets them be heard. She's pro-cannabis. She's really amazing. She's the doctor. And then we only have one doctor. And then I have Elizabeth Hall, who's my executive director. This woman is an absolute superstar. She is the front of the house. I'm just kind of the thought guy and the implementation, but she actually implements it herself and takes pride in it, really cares about it, and is really devoted to the cause. So I want to give out some serious love to both of those special human beings that really help us.
Super.
Yeah, well, it sounds like that doctor, sounds like somebody we'd like to interview, actually.
Sounds like I had the same thought, Al.
Yeah. I mean, we like to hear doctors who have practical clinical experience, especially with veterans.
So, Rob, look, Rob, I got a question too. It's like, you're like 100, like the rest of us. You could be sitting in the back patio, watching the clouds go by, smoking your pipe, doing nothing. What has motivated you to get up and spend your life and time doing this?
That's an awesome question. A lot of my life, I've been really successful, and I've always kind of had this void, and I'm not sure what that void was. And when I started helping veterans for the first time, that void was gone, and I've just been on a mission ever since. It's not work for me. It's fun. It's help. It's ever life changing for so many people. We could save lives every single month when we do events. We may have saved a life, and that alone is worth everything I put into it.
And then the other question, Al Byrne likes to ask this question, so I'm going to ask it. What got you into the cannabis movement? How did you discover cannabis in the first place?
I smoked cannabis for the first time on Halloween of, I don't know what year it was. It was the early 80s, maybe 81 or 82. We smoked out of a makeshift pipe made out of apple.
I remember those.
And that was one of the first times my brain stopped, which is a good thing.
Oh, okay.
It just really calmed it down, allowed me to. So ever since then, I've been literally obsessed with it. I saw it growing for the first time in college, and that just really made the obsession get even more. I have experience growing through the years, so it's just really cathartic for me. I actually volunteer at one of the dispensaries here in town once a week, just because I love the plant so much, and I want to help.
Do you consider yourself a patient?
I am a patient, and I'm also a practicing patient and a practicing medical marijuana enthusiast.
I've got a question for you. I know that you brought something to show everything, to show everybody today. Would you like to do that now?
Sure, let's do that now.
Okay, I'll bring that up. Here we go. Go back to the beginning.
All right, let's see.
Roadmap.
There you go.
There we go.
There we go. All right, so we've been doing this in Florida for 4 years now, and I'm just assuming, and I know that the demand in the rest of the United States is the same as it here in Florida. We do have the second most populous state of veterans here in Florida, but veterans are all in need. So our mission is free access for veterans all across the United States, whether it's us paying for them, whether it's us getting doctors to see them for free, or us getting the states to change these laws that at least not charge them the cost of a fee of an annual card of $77 or what it is in every other state. They just don't have the money. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit here. If you see the ones in green are the medical only states. We decided to target those first. Going to a recreational state, we're about access, and in general, they do have access to it there. Now there's some advantages to being medical in those states, but this is our path we thought would be the best to start with, least resistance wise. So you see all the green is where we're going.
Good.
Now, here's kind of our roadmap to access for veterans. So Florida is where our stronghold is. We've done lots of veterans here. So Florida will continue to be here. We'll just expand. They also have the second largest veteran population and have a lot of sponsors here also. And then I sorted them by telemed. It's so much easier getting a patient to pick up a phone than getting a car and drive, and especially if they don't have a car, they can't drive. So we sorted them then by telemed, first time visits only. Georgia and West Virginia were picked as first and second because I have some partners there. They're going to help with spreading our program and spreading their vision. And then from there, I continued to sort them through telemed. So Texas was the next in line just because it has the most veteran population. And you'll see I've kind of gone down through there. And then the states that we'll target after that, Alabama, Kentucky, Arkansas, they don't have telemed first time visits. So there's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but we'll go there at some point.
I see several there with no state vet program either.
Most of them have no state program. If it does have a state program, it's Medicaid or SNAP but you can see there's a lot of big ends there, and we're not real happy with that. And Florida looks like to be one of the most expensive states too for the annual renewal cost.
Yeah.
So this is just a map of the state of Florida. You'll see these are the veterans that we've helped so far in the state of Florida. Every dot is a different city that they've traveled from to come to us. As you can see, Al, there's one over there in Panama City by you. Came all the way this far just to get a free card.
Yeah, it's a long ride though.
And then you'll see this is each city in the little spreadsheet here that we've actually serviced a veteran from and how many we've serviced from that city alone. So you see it's pretty broad in the state of Florida. The demand is quite great. And they will drive from a long distance away to save $300 and get a little bit of love and some support.
Yeah. Well, I think that love and support part is bigger than most people understand.
Oh, for sure. They come here and it's a great experience for them because it's the first time they can come and they can be honest about their cannabis use if they are currently using. They're not going to be judged, maybe called a drug addict or whatever they may have experienced in normal life or VA or whatever. They come here, they're not judged, they feel safe, they feel heard, and they feel cared for. So it's a great experience for them. And that's typically why we do it in a veteran type setting every month. So more veterans will be here and other people will feel a little bit more comfortable. But here's just some of the ones we've done. You see some of the MSOs that we've worked with.
Mm-hmm.
And then here is, we just won this recently. This is a contest. It's a really big contest here in Central Florida. You have to be nominated first, and then if you get a certain amount of nominations, and then it goes to a public vote. They picked the top 10, and then they did down to the top 3, and we ended up in 3rd place. The one good thing, I'm not really a 3rd place guy, I'd rather have 1st, but the one positive thing out of it was that we were the only cannabis related nominee that won a space in a non-cannabis category. So I
There
thought
you
that was,
go. There you go.
that was
Congratulations.
That's number 1 in my book, baby.
Right, no, exactly.
that's enough of the slide. So
and having those 2 words together, veterans cannabis, excellent. Congratulations. Wonderful.
Yes.
Let me go a question. You said something, I want to hear it right. You said we bring the veterans in once a month to I think something like a veteran orientated venue.
Well, we do the event the last Tuesday of every month, and we do it just that day, just for vets.
Yeah.
So as other vets are coming in, they're seeing vets there. They're talking to them. They're feeling a little more comfortable because a lot of them have never used cannabis before. They're scared about their federal benefits, about testing positive. Those kind of things make them feel comfortable that, hey, it's okay. There's other veterans here.
Right.
So I think having other veterans there really, really helps instead of me just having them in randomly once in a while.
I just gotta ask, do you ask them for the DD-214?
Yes, we do. We've had one person tried to come in and didn't have one, believe it or not.
And for civilian people, that the DD-214 is the legal document that verifies your rank when you separated from the military and that you were in the military. And it's a piece of paper that if you lose it, you never get a copy of it. And if you've been in the military, you make sure you never lose it.
Yeah, well, you can get a copy. Are there people, vets that come to you and still think that they use cannabis, they may lose their vet benefits?
Absolutely. Yep,
really?
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, we got to work on that.
There's so many bad rumors out there, and a lot of people, especially if you're a lifetime military, you want to take the chance of losing those benefits you've worked so hard for. So you believe the hype that's out there instead of the actual source that it comes from.
Well, let me just say right now to the audience, if I'm a veteran, if I use cannabis and go to the VA, they say hi. All right, there you do not lose anything using cannabis in the VA. The VA 15 years ago told their folks, everybody, that if a patient came in, a veteran came in and using cannabis, that they were to treat that cannabis like they would any other medical product. That was 15 years ago. No one has lost benefits, guys. No one. And you will not be in that category. You can use cannabis at Rob's Harmon's operation or anywhere else, and you'll be all right. But I didn't mean to interrupt, but we want to make sure you understand that.
Well, we've made some progress here. We have Lake Nona and Baldwin Park VAs that actually have our flyer that give to veterans and say, hey, you might want to go check this program out. They do it the last Tuesday of every month. I'm not sure how they got there. Another veteran brought them there, but every month of the 21, 3 or 4 come from the VA directly. Now, they're not supposed to talk to them in a state that's not recreational, but they're starting to have a little bit of empathy. Stigma's not as bad as it used to be. So we are getting a lot of them directly from the VA, which is awesome.
Well, that's great. That's super. Yeah.
Now, what I would like you to do now, we're getting down towards the end of the half hour, and what you do is amazing, and the work you do is very significant and important. But it's also a task that requires a lot of people involved. So this is your opportunity to look dead into the camera, to the audience and the world, and let them know who you're looking for and how they can help and what type of people you need to make this succeed.
Thank you. Well, we're currently looking for anybody that believes in our vision, that believes that veterans need free access, that cannabis will make veterans' lives a lot better and may even save some lives. So anybody that has any type of feeling for veterans, we're open to any type of partnerships or donations. We just want to help as many veterans as we possibly can, period.
And how do they reach you to make that happen?
They can contact me by email at rob@veteranscannabiscare.org, or they can give me a call at 407-325-9138.
And look into the camera again at the people out there who need medical cannabis and need your help, and let them know what you can do for them.
Well, if you're struggling with VA drugs, or you just want an alternative to VA drugs or big pharma drugs, we're here for you. Hopefully we're going to be in your area so you don't have to drive. If you can't drive, we're slowly extending throughout Florida. So I will help you at some point. Be patient with us, but we will be here for you.
And we really admire the work that you're doing. We want to keep a spotlight on you and your organization. So I'd like to have you back off and on throughout the next year as a guest on the show.
Awesome. Thank you guys
and
so
you
much.
might even bring with you a doctor or one of your patients that you're assisting, so we can find out about some of the things that are happening in that area as well.
And we'll have a little more details on the network and how we're progressing. And I know the doctor would love to be here.
That would rock.
That sounds great, Rob. Thanks so much for coming by, man.
Thank you, guys.
And Albert, I want to thank you for bringing such an amazing guest to the show. Let them know quickly about your book.
Well, the book is full of amazing people like Rob Harmon. Again, people that have done well for patients in various capacities, whose name you don't know, I do, and I just had to write it down so that. And again, we'll say this out loud: that book and everything we do here, including this interview, is being made of a part of the Colorado State University's Special Collections Archive for their library system, which means that all of that information in that book and in the stuff that Rob has just been talking about will be there literally forever for historians, researchers, archive students to find out just what went down and who did it and how they did it. That's it.
And Al Graham, I tell you, it's an honor to stand in the foxhole with you shoulder to shoulder and fight this war on cannabis prohibition. And your work up in Canada is needed and amazing.
Thank you, Casper, for the very kind words. We work hard at it. We, just don't like what the government's been saying about cannabis. We made sure that people found out the truth. So.
And how do they find you again?
You can find the PACE Network at paceradio.net, and there the subject is people advocating cannabis education and psychedelics.
And I do want to remind people, if you go to timeforhemp.news, there's all kinds of groovy free stuff you can download. We got free music about how wonderful cannabis is from the illusions of music. We got podcasts you can download, videos you can watch. We even got newsletters and blog posts all about how important it is to take time for hemp.
Look at all that money, yeah, the money that they've spent. Take another look and take some time for hemp. Don't cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp. Well, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all our soil. People got no food, they got no clothes, they got no rent. Well, it's time for hemp. Throughout Earth's history, hemp has been used, no mystery. Hemp was legal to pay your taxes for more than a century. Check your faxes, founding fathers make sense to me. It's time to grow hemp legally. Think of all its uses, it's money that's well spent. Right now, no excuses, it's time for hemp. Sustainable green industry, that's our intent. A better place this world will be. It's time for hemp. Fuel and food and clothes and soap, housing, cars. Yeah, cars, no joke. Henry Ford built a car of hemp. It's time for us to do it again. People be employed with balanced farming as it's meant. Right now it's time for hemp. Hemp is a true necessity for the wealth and protection of this country. Thomas Jefferson spoke those words. He knew the value of these herds. It's time to lift the hemp ban. It's time to make a strong stand. Yes, we can. I know we can. I know we can. We can make a difference. Yes, we can. Just like birds of a feather, we can work together and lift the hemp ban. Look at all that money. Yeah, the money that they've spent. Take another look. Take some time for hemp. Don't cut trees for pay because it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation. Yeah, it's time for hemp.
Time for Hemp is the Pace Radio Network content provider.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more. We've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. We are people advocating cannabis education here at Pace Radio.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this toke.
Roll another one, leave it all to chance. Rolling paper in the red eyes, long nights, slow rise. Thinking about the things I can't rewind. Let the smoke curl, let the time fade. One more hit for the ones who stray. One more hit for the ones who stray. Rolling papers and red eyes, lost in the past. Every drag takes me back too fast. Moonlight, street lights fading away. Smoke in the air like ghosts won't stay. Dog rabbit here a time or two. Ain't nothing new about getting lost in the blue. What if every breath was a second chance? What if the past only lives in a glance? What if the road don't ever run straight? What if we just here learning to wait? takes me back too fast. Moonlight, street lights fading away. Smoke in the air like ghosts wanna stay. You gon' drive in here a time or two. Ain't nothing new about getting lost in the blue.
Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca. You're watching the 420 Pace, found at 420pace.ca. You've been watching Rerolled Saturdays. Thank you to our guests, our hosts, and our viewers. Up next, Rerolled Saturday Nighttime Edition. It gets started at 4 p.m. See you then.